Major Specialist 5 Dennis Phelps was an Army engineer in the 103rd Engineer Unit, 69th Battalion. The mission was to clear virgin jungle, build a fire support base, and to build roads. Dennis served in 1970 and 71. He's the current president of BVA 1024, and Dennis has had a vision. He had a vision for a couple years, and it just burned at him. And it's now coming to fruition. I'm going to let Dennis tell us about it. Dennis Phelps.
So slow.
He had surgery on Friday.
Yeah, I had surgery yesterday, but it was a long way from the heart. Yeah, I was an Army engineer. I didn't get into the Marines because I was number 4 at the induction center. We're sitting on benches down the hallway, and they were going down 1, 2, 3, 4. You're a Marine. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're a Marine, and I was number 4. So I didn't know what I was going to be, but I don't regret being in the Army. The one thing I do regret is that I didn't stay in. At the time, I just wanted to get out. I wanted to get away from all of the hell that was going on and everything. But now I look back and I think, if I could go back today, if my body could do it, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But it just can't happen. But anyway, being in the engineers was really an eye-opening thing, because when we went to a place, we'd go into an area that had small villages, and we'd clear the jungle and make fire support bases and continue on building roads. And we really got to know the local people. We'd go into the little village and we'd see in their hooches how they had little holes dug underneath the tables and stuff that they could climb into when something started to happen. And they worked for us during the day, and some of them worked towards us during the night, but not knowing who they were or what, you had to trust the ones that were there. And I know I had friends there. I had Vietnamese friends, Cambodian friends, Cambodian refugees that were there. Megan, for one, I know he was executed as soon as we left. It made me sick when our country failed. It was a horrible thing to do, but the House voted to quit funding it. And that was the saddest day of my life, really, to watch all that effort that we went through go to waste. It didn't go to waste because we did stop the communist movement, and we allowed an awful lot of people to be able to come here and become free. And in my mind, Vietnamese community has given more to our society than any other immigrants ever. When you go into schools, their students are top of the class, no question. You look at the children here today, their hearts are pure, they have love, they have caring, they're obedient to their parents, they're first class citizens. You can't get any better. And you know, like Bob was saying, the last 3.5 years, I searched for a helicopter, and I looked all over. I was going to go to Fort Rucker, I was going to go to Fort Worth, Texas, I was going to go all over. And we were getting ready to take a trip to Texas to look at the ones that we found. And I called the guy up to get the address, and he says, "No, I can't sell them. I got to back out of that deal." And I go, "Man, that's a bummer." So I called up one of our members, Bernie Robertson, that was gonna go with me down there to look at them. I told him, I said, Bernie, bad news, we can't go down there because the guy backed out of the deal. He doesn't want to sell us the helicopters. He wants $42,000 for each one. And he said, well, don't worry, when one door closes, God opens up another one. Within 5 days, my friend called me up and said, hey, there's a helicopter over here on Ball Road. And I went, what? And I jumped in my car and I drove over there. And sure enough, 3 miles from my shop, there's a Huey helicopter sitting on top of a container. There was 2 of them, really. One of them was an F model, which it's an early model, real short body, the exhaust comes out the side, and that one actually has all the parts to fly. This one's just an airframe. And I asked him what he wanted. He said, well, $22,000. And I said, that's out of our budget. And he says, well, I'll tell you what. He says, I paid $15 for it, paid $7 to get it here. I'll donate the $7,000 to your chapter and you take the helicopter for $15. I said, well, that's great. I said, but we don't have the $15 now. We can only give you $5,000 down and make payments, and when we get it paid for, we'll come and get it. He goes, no, I can't sell it to you that way. He says, I'll sell it to you for $5,000 down and you take it and pay me as you go. And so we got it. It's done a lot of work to it. During the Tet Parade, this man loaned us 3 Humvees, 1 to tow it and 2 more to follow it. And then he actually paid to have it moved to my shop to do the work on it. And he bought all the paint to paint it. And we painted this thing with 3-inch rollers because we didn't want to get overspray on any cars and have to pay to detail the cars. And Steve and Conrad from 756 came over and helped us do a lot of the painting on it. Conrad was like the Tasmanian devil. He's underneath it, on top of it, all over rolling paint. And I was telling everybody up at Visalia at our conference that he's like energy on steroids. He's always go, go, go. But anyway, now we have the helicopter. It was going to be here today, but I could see that the management, the owner of the property, saying that we couldn't have it because of liability, but it wouldn't have worked out because of the parking. It would have been a disaster. But right now, the helicopter is sitting in the Saigon Broadcasting Television Network in a studio, and it's being part of a prop for video they're making for the fall of Saigon. And it'll be there till Thursday, and then it'll come out, and then it's starting to get booked all over the place. And it's been a real hard project, but a very fulfilling one. And the Vietnamese community, I really have to say, I love the Vietnamese people. Their hearts are so clean and so pure, so loving, so caring. And you look at the people in this country here, and I can spot selfish people a mile away. And the Vietnamese people just are not that way. They just want to thank you, and they appreciate what we've done, and we appreciate how they have become citizens of this country and given so much back, because there's no way in the world. Guy and Diamond have given so much to show their appreciation for what we did, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate you.
I want to add something about the helicopter. In January, we had it over at the Vietnam War Museum. We took it in there on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And there, it's for healing. When people heard, or the American Vietnam veterans, the South Vietnamese, heard the and they're in the battlefield, they knew they were going to be saved, perhaps. We nicknamed it the Savior. And, pardon? Lifesaver, I'm sorry, yeah. A Navy helicopter pilot, 2 tours in Vietnam, up and down the Mekong Delta, inserting Navy SEALs in the jungle and extracting them, came to the museum and to see the helicopter. I took him upstairs, and there was this Vietnamese Navy trained in the United States. He was trained in New York, and then he came out here to California or something, the muddy water. The Navy Vietnamese was going up and down the Mekong River. And he actually kept bowing to this American because he knows that that guy probably saved his life 1,000 times. You know, they're going up and down the Mekong Delta there, and the VC are hitting them hard. So they call in the American helicopters, and they go in there and take the VC out. And you could see healing in both of them, because this individual, John Seymour is his name, he didn't get a welcome home. He was spit on at the airport. And here was this Vietnamese soldier thanking him, South Vietnamese Navy. He folded him all over the museum and kept telling him, "You saved me, you saved me." It was probably true. Anyway, John was going to be here today. A month and a half ago, he was cancer-free. A couple of days ago, stage 4 aggressive pancreatic cancer. So he's not here. He was going to be sitting with us. Anyway, Ty and Diamond, you have welcomed the American Vietnam home. Thank you very much.